man, Jamal Murray, my man threw his little tantrum. Is he
Oh, is
gonna
that
get
the
a game?
question? Is that the
That's
question
my
everyone wants
question.
to know?
That's my question. That's
Right.
my question. Because I was
You take
more
it.
like, if you're gonna get beat like that, and the way that Minnesota was talking shit and just picking him up full court, and then you go and throw a towel, then you go and throw a heat pack, then you do the money sign, then like people miss that part where when that kind of got out of hand. I think in the second quarter, basically, he also hit somebody in the head that nobody cares about because it was whatever. But I'm just curious, does he get a game? I think he does. That's just
I
me.
I think he gets a game, and but at the very least, he's getting a fine, a hefty fine,
Oh yeah, hefty fine.
hefty fine. Richard,
He's
you
gonna
disagree with us, I feel like.
I don't think he gets suspended. I think he gets a very large fine. I think he gets a very, very large fine. It's like you go back and look at again, Draymond said like people just want to throw out suspensions, blah blah. Draymond has a history of behavior. So when something he has a history. He has chapter after chapter, multiple books. He's got a Lord of the Rings series
Wow.
incidents that have happened, right? So you understand why people jump to that. Jamal's never been in trouble. He's never had an issue. Like no one, and I'm not saying that condones his behavior. I'm saying that the league takes all of that into account, right? The league takes that into account, as we all know. So we really think, because he can easily say that like he can make up something. I don't know. And nothing is excusing his behavior.
What are you? Okay, Richard, if it was you, what would be your excuse for not only throwing a towel and then grabbing the heat pack?
What I'm saying is that I try to throw the towel to the ball boy. And then the other one, I jumped up and I was just yelling and it slipped out of my hands. That's the story. My point is this, though, Jack. My point is,
welcome to 2024. There are cameras everywhere. No one's going to tell that story.
You guys have been on the bench with the heat packs before.
I've never seen a heat pack on
You know
the floor.
how those things are heavy, man. You don't just like accidentally throw them 25 feet in the air.
I thought it just went behind the ref, and then they highlighted it as it skidded.
That shit went
on the court.
Those things are. But
that's literally it's just like what Finch said. It's like the logical. There's no one in the stands throwing a heat pack.
Well, I don't think they don't know, because again, players could jump up really quick and can slide. So the referee, Mark Davis, didn't know what happened behind him, right? Like how someone threw that. You don't know. Anyways, my only thing is he shouldn't get suspended for a game. I think he should get. You want to fine him $75K for his behavior in that game? Mike Malone should have been thrown out of the game. Mike Malone for sure. He should have been. He was trying to get thrown out of the game. He knew he could feel what was going on. The whole arena could. Everybody that watched it on
America
TV,
could see what was going on.
He was like, "Oh, I'm going to use this as a motivation," and I'm not like. And Mark Davis was like, "No, you are going to sit here and you are going to take every drop of this ass whipping. Get him back, make him coach, because you can't do that twice. You have a one time in a game to do that, and then they kick you out." So Mark Davis was like, "No, sir, you will not be excused from this game. You're going to go over there and you are going to take this ass whipping."
Not to I was curious about Minnesota, in their defense, and were they going to be able to guard all these different actions? And I'm even triple impressed about how they just take. I can't remember Jokic getting his shot blocked 2, 3, 4 times in one possession by 2 or 3 different guys. Usually he dominates. Nas Reed was killing him for a second. Obviously, Cat had him for a little bit, stayed out of foul trouble. But I don't know if I've ever seen a team just dismantle an offense like that. It is wild watching the viciousness of how they guard each person with no regard for life. They're just nope, you're not going to run any. And then Aaron Gordon, who actually had a great game, they were just yep, we're living. You got 15 points, good for you.
Is this the best defense you guys have seen?
Oof. I mean, the Warriors teams are
crazy. It's hard to compare because teams play differently. Even back in 2015, right? There's a Warriors team. Teams play differently now. You can't. It's hard to say the 90s Knicks teams. Well, everybody was crowded around in the paint. You know what I mean? There wasn't spacing. I think for what I would consider the modern NBA, which is probably just in the last 3 to 5 years, it's by far the best defense. But it's not just that it's the best defense collectively. They have great individual defenders. Think about Jamal Murray getting guarded by Jaden McDaniels, and then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, basically a clone defensively, comes in off the bench, right?
That sucks.
They match up well because Denver's advantage versus a lot of teams is playing big with Gordon and Jokic. All this, I don't know, Gobert missed last night, but you still have Naz Reid, you still have Cat, Kyle Anderson's long. Like they have size at nearly every position. So it's a bad matchup.
No, it's that no what, and this is the other thing.
Wow.
Those three Doberman pinchers that they have over there, because you include Anthony Edwards.
Right.
And again, those two, their specialty is defense. His is an added piece to his already crazy game. But those three dudes were guarding Kevin Durant. They were guarding Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. And with all respect to my guy, Jamal Murray, he is not on the tier quite yet of Bradley Beal. Or no, he's above Bradley Beal, of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So that's an easier assignment for all three of them, right? If you've been guarding Devin Booker for a series and now you got to guard Jamal Murray, now there's different complexities to their game, but they're locked in defensively. Those dudes are locked in. But yes, is this the best defensive team? Yes, because they have three elite frontline defenders. They have maybe the best backline defender. We talk about Drew Holiday and what, him leaving Milwaukee, what that did, even though they have great size.
We saw what that did.
We saw with that, losing that frontline defense. You see how important it is to the Boston Celtics with him and Derek White, right? Like, you have those type of defenders in your front line and a monster defensive player of the year level guy in your back line, you get the shit you saw yesterday.
Real quick, I want to interject. I don't necessarily think it's easier than guarding easy by maybe who Bradley or who Devin Booker and who Kevin Durant have been in their careers versus Jamal Murray in terms of accolades and in terms of, they're high volume scorers that have been super efficient. When I think of guarding Jamal Murray, one of the challenges is when he gives the ball up. The Spanoulis action, right, where he cuts down the middle of the paint, gets the rub screen from Gordon, comes back off the dribble handoff. They set it up a million different ways. Navigating through that off the ball and then not allowing enough separation for Murray to come off that and operate in space and at a comfort level, that is a huge challenge. And Booker and Durant are not running that type of action. So it's the off-ball stuff that I think not allowing separation when they get into all their split actions, when they get into the Spanoulis action, when they get into their delay action where they're setting back screens and they're playing off movement, that is a huge challenge to me. And so far, those guys have risen to the challenge and then some.